However, just now the screen just flickered, and now I'm getting nothing. So I'm getting a little worried about that. Just go in.
I think you need to take these off, even though you're. I think you were you're such a leave it as pristine as possible.
I guess no going back now. It's actually coming out of your MacBook.
That makes sense. That makes sense why it would be louder.
Let me share briefly about my strange use case for these glasses. I am a young dad with a house that doesn't have a lot of extra. We don't have like a second family room. I no longer have my own home theater. It's one that I have to set up in the garage, so it takes a lot of time. And so I was finding myself wanting to watch a movie privately, and obviously the larger than life is great. I love the big screen. And I just didn't have a space for it. It was just our living room. And there's always something going on there. Even when the kids are napping, my wife is doing things in there, and it just didn't make any sense. And so these solve a very specific need for me expertly. I have found since I bought them, 3-4 months ago, I use them almost daily. The funny specific use case for me is that we have a newborn. We have like a 2-month-old. And so I'm spending quite a bit of time. Basically, maybe someone needs to be holding her to sleep, but that's it. And so this allows me to watch my show while I'm holding her to sleep. And I've actually had a few times where I will like walk laps around the backyard while putting her to sleep.
That's awesome.
And I have the screen on because you can see everything. There's tons of visibility around it. And my wife laughs at that. But it's the use case for me is fantastic, and I've been so excited to see that I use them daily.
Yeah, that's great.
The other use case piece, I think, is just the flexibility. The fact that you can have a private screen, pretty big, wherever. It's a pretty unique thing to get to lay back on your bed and watch a movie. I mean, that's a that's a cool setup.
Especially if you are traveling and you're on an airplane, this is easy to fit in your backpack.
A full portable monitor or a portable theater, and it's right there.
Day to day, your work backpack, your daily driver, whatever, super easy. Whether you're purely 90% of the time using it for entertainment, or you have a little bit more productivity. Like I was able to have a video going, but I could just look down and see my monitor, and so you could have like a video going and notes going if you want to, while keeping your posture neutral.
Yeah. What we'll be using to test these today is the Pocket TV, which is sold by Rayneo. It is basically a portable Google TV streaming box. It's actually kind of amazing. It's the box and the remote in one. These can be driven by, say, your phone. You can, I even hesitate to say cast, something like Netflix from your phone through the USB-C cable to the glasses. I didn't want to be tethered to my phone all the time, and I also wanted it to feel more like an immersive TV watching experience, and I feel like the Pocket TV is perfect for that. Yeah. I've got my little remote, I've got my Android TV interface. I love that. So we'll be using that and some 4K footage to test the difference between the two.
And this has Wi-Fi?
It has Wi-Fi, yep.
Yeah.
It has a micro SD card slot. It is USB-C rechargeable, and it is a 6,500 milliamp hour battery. And I've gotten probably 5.5 to 6 hours of streaming from this.
Wow.
These are marketed as being more comfortable a fit, not just more comfortable on your eyes, but more comfortable on your head than these. And that is immediately true. They feel a touch lighter, a touch more balanced. The clamping force is less, and that feels great. They really do kind of just float up there.
Nice.
And that is also one of the benefits you get from not having an onboard battery, is you're not holding all that weight on your head.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are pros and cons to having tethers, but the way that these are designed and marketed to be used is it makes sense to have a tether.
Yes.
And I would imagine theoretically you get a longer USB-C cable if you wanted. But this is really made for sitting at your desk, laying on the bed, sitting on the couch. Not really a lot of movement. You're not doing any VR action with all this.
Crazy tiny feature alert. The Pros have a gradual on.
Oh, they like from dim, they brighten?
They brighten slowly.
And then the S just turns on.
The S just is on, yeah. It flicks on, it's pretty bright. Unsurprisingly, just like the traditional 3S, the image quality is top of the line. Surprisingly good, shockingly
Yeah.
good. Do you feel that same?
Extremely crisp and clear.
It's so crisp and clear. The colors are vibrant. The contrast ratio, these are OLED, so the contrast ratio is incredible. As a display, it looks amazing. The pros, from a brightness standpoint, I'm at full brightness now. They're very, very, very bright. They don't feel aggressively brighter than the traditionals at max brightness, which is supposedly, am I right to say it is 1200 nits?
Yes. Yeah, the new ones are 1200.
Which is double the
Yeah.
600 of the old ones, which is a crazy increase in brightness. And most of the time, that's not going to mean anything. But one of the biggest complaints on the regular 3Ss was that you really can't use them outside in daylight. It was just too much light bleed. You could barely see the image. I think that's not going to be a problem on these, and I think that's exactly their design of these, is that what seems to be an over-the-top brightness upgrade is actually just to buy you outdoor usage.
Yeah, and I think that's great. So if you have a use case of, like, that you're not going to be outside with these, you might be able to find the 3S cheaper, probably secondhand.
Secondhand, they'd be cheaper.
If people are buying the new ones or not, you might be able to find it cheaper. If you know you're just going to mostly be inside or just use it to watch movies in bed or whatever.
Yep. Then go find a used pair for 170 or something, and they'd be perfect. Yeah, honestly, you'd think with a double increase that max brightness would be too much.
Yeah.
And it's not. It just looks great.
Yeah, which I like. I like when speakers can go too high.
Yeah, and when brightness
go too high, because then you can dial it in more for every individual
Absolutely.
person.
The overall speaker quality, I would say, is good. I don't think I'd say it's great. Yeah, it just seems like the kind of thing that in this form factor at that price point, these speakers are just placed next to your ear. They are supposed to have a technology where this bottom speaker does fire directly into your ear, and it's supposed to have a little bit of directionality to it. And that goes into their whisper mode, where you can have it in a mode where when you're watching with, for example, a newborn baby, which is what I have been doing, the baby can't hear the movie.
But these are 120 hertz, aren't they? Or is it just those?
They both are. Yeah,
Okay.
120 hertz on both.
Yeah, so this still looks amazing.
Okay, let's swap it.
Holy cow. Okay.
Does it look great?
Yeah.
Contrast ratio? An OLED test video shows it perfectly. It is exactly what you would get on an OLED TV.
Yeah.
The blacks are perfectly black. The boundary between is crisp and perfect. The colors are just vibrant as can be. I do think that is the single most astonishing. I'm 100% sure that's the single most astonishing thing about both these glasses.
Yeah.
The image quality is so good. Let me say a quick disclaimer about that, though, that I discovered. Because it's blowing up, it's actually really close to your eyes. I did find that when I've watched I had a TV show file that was 720p, I did not enjoy it. It was blown up too much, and I was so aware that it was 720p.
Gotcha.
So to the extent that it
sense.
was worse than on a TV. It was much worse than that same experience on a TV. It was so close, and I was like, this just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend making sure you've got a 1080p source. But with a 1080p source,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, the standard is if you're streaming or on YouTube or whatever, it's just going to auto format.
Okay, so the Vision Boost mode, according to Rayneo, is designed to optimize brightness in extreme sunlight areas. So that's actually probably how you get the full 1200 nits then.
They're great. For $250, if you've been wanting to get into AR, I think this is such a great, probably the cheapest quality entry level you're going to get. The way that they've figured out this Pocket TV is seamless. It's very high quality. You can get hours and hours of entertainment out of it. You got a remote, everything.
Hi there, it's just Josh now, and you might be wondering, is he going to say, don't forget to like and subscribe? That's actually not why I'm here. I'm actually here to let you know that our recording got cut off at the end, and to give you our final thoughts that were in the previous recording that we thought was happening. I think that these glasses are such an incredible budget AR item. If you are looking to get really heavily into AR technology, or you want AR productivity, that's your use case, then I would say don't be afraid to jump up to the $500, $700 glasses, something from X-Real or maybe even Viture. But I would say that if you're looking to get into the space, or you really like the use case of the portable movie theater screen, is how they market it, I think either of these is a great option. I think the performance improvement of the Pros over the traditionals is 10%. The double brightness doesn't seem like double brightness until you're outside, which is so if that's your use case, go for the Pros because they're still a great deal. They're very similar price. Sound quality is about the same, build quality is about the same. This is a great product. Please let us know down in the comments if you have any questions about either of them, because I still got them. Let us know what your use cases are, or what you think of AR technology in general. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.